Hello, and it's time again for more tutorial friends. We're still in the middle of our war with England and Portugal. It's going very well at this point. We only have 32% out of 100 war score, but we're not going to get to 100. That would require we siege every province in that's a participant in the war. Because, as I've harped on many times, we're keeping our navy in port because that stack would crush us. We can't get to England, so we don't need 100% war score anyway, but we will probably want to let it tick up all the way to 25. So we're going to have a little bit of a stale, boring war here for a bit where nothing much is going on. We can potentially have some troops come over from England and attempt to relieve some of these sieges or come down here and help with Portugal, although Portugal's mostly out of this war. As soon as the siege, as Lisbon falls, they'll basically be full siege. They can only build stuff down in Ceuta, and Spain may even go. Castile may even go down there and siege that as well. So pretty much Portugal's not going to be a further participant in this war. So we'll just focus on keeping our heads up, making sure nothing comes up surprising, and just finishing out the war. So I'm going to increase the speed to speed 3. Everybody wants to ally with the Papal State. And France, yeah, right, that was me. I've loaded back into the game so you can see this banner warning us about our low naval maintenance is back. I'm going to treat it with the same contempt I did last time. So we have captured Alentejo. I don't know, my Portuguese pronunciation is even worse than my French pronunciation. Are they going to win this battle? Castile, it's a 3-stack. Surely they'll crush this. No, they're going to absolutely lose this battle. Fine, I'll go help. No, I've got to go around. Loot? Pretty decent loot. I'm going to actually break off 5 guys off of Co, which is actually almost looted out. Anybody have any loot? Any loot? I want some loot. Oh, the board has some. Okay, I'm going to break 5 off of this and send it back to this other unit since we kind of unbalanced it. And that will help us. We can move on down here where there's more targets to hit. I don't know how much longer this war... I don't know. We may get enough war score when we take out the rest of Portugal. We could, once we take Porto, we have Porto. Once we take Lisboa, we could probably separate piece Portugal. I don't think it's actually in our best interest to do that. I think that we'd lose more war score from doing that than we'd pick up because now England is a smaller entity because we haven't been able to siege much of England. All right. Garb. That battle must have ended. Yeah, that's not very nice. Fine, we'll go back up there. And we're now out of loot. They've recovered some loot. Let's go finish off Normandy. Battle of Alentejo goes very well for us. So much for the Portuguese troops. That's our looting army. Well, they're both looting armies now. Go back to Albert. Yep, keep going. How are we doing on money? We're actually making a fair amount of money, mostly because of looting. Poland has made Moldavia a march. Hey! Morocco has decided that this opportunity, that when Portugal doesn't have any troops, would be a good time to declare war on them. I approve. And, Aragon's going to help defend Portugal, which basically means Aragon's going to be fighting Morocco. Aragon can who am I kidding? Aragon can definitely win this battle for Morocco. Although Morocco has 3 allies. I don't know which of those. Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who joins the war. I guess nobody else did. So we know that we can actually diplomat mode to see that. Yeah. So they have. Slumkin has. So these two are fighting against basically just Aragon and Naples, which Aragon owns. So I don't know. I think it's gonna probably end up being about a stalemate because Aragon and Naples will land troops and take a bunch of stuff here. Um, but Morocco really wants this thing back, and they're not gonna have any trouble reconquering it. Okay. Go. Yay! We occupied Algarve. Loot it! Loot it all! What? Wait, what was? Oh, that was this other army. Yeah, sure. They're doing them. Loot faster. Loot faster. I really need this to fall. I'm actually. Hey, we got a new cardinal. Oh, speaking of which, I promised to talk about papal influence in this episode. So, all Catholic nations generate papal influence. You get a certain amount, again, based just for being a Catholic nation. It's 0.5 a year. You get additional papal influence from having cardinals. Cardinals are typically assigned to big cities. We've gotten 4, which is way more than anybody else has. That's actually quite good. We do have big cities, Paris, Orleans, all these are big cities. And we just picked up a 4th one. We only had 3. You can look here to see the next cities that are likely to get cardinals, and we're not on that list, so we must have sort of gotten lucky and gotten all the ones we are eligible for. So papal influence can be spent on various things. You can spend it once you collect a bunch of it on various bonuses, many of which are quite nice. There's a free stability, there's mercantilism, which is great for trade. Holy War's not so good, although it's cheaper. You get money if you're short of money. You can get your legitimacy fixed, which is really, really great if you've got a war going. The other thing you can do with papal influence is invest it to try to control the Pope. Basically, you don't get to control his nation, but there's basically you just get to become the papal control, the Curia controller. That's what it is. It's the Curia, the circle of the Pope's advisors. Anyway, there's just a whole raft of bonuses for being Curia controller. It's like, and I'm not kidding. I mean, it's stability's cheaper. You get an extra diplomat advisor. Your advisor maintenance goes down 20%. You get cheaper tech. You get more advisors to pick from. You get a free military leader, so we wouldn't have been over the leader limit. And aggressive expansion 20% is awesome. Any one of those bonuses just about would be great. All of them together is an awesome package. But there's no actual way to guarantee you become the papal controller. You can just invest your points in and hope that you basically win it. So we're going to spend 5 of our amassed points, and you can see that what can you see? Oh, you can see that we currently have 100% chance. The papal state will get some, which will cause us to have not that good a chance. We'll end up with something like a 20% chance of being able to control the Curia, and that's great. And we'll see what it goes from there. Venice has taken Albania, so let's continue. All right. Group that army up. And Aragon wants military access. I don't know quite why, but sure. And Portugal lost their king, or maybe their king, they had a regency and the regency ended. Okay. How are we doing here? What was I was going to do something. That's right. I was going to take, I'm going to reassign our leader to this, this army, since that other army is not really doing anything. Yep, England's army is still, our England's transport ships are still hanging out on blockade duty, so they're no threat to us. So I could stay here and loot some more. I think at the moment I'd much rather. I can't take my whole army up here. So okay, let's do the same thing we did last time. Split everybody else off. Take the siege leader, send him to Lisbon, and the rest of us can just continue to loot. What's going on here? Okay. Well, we've got a guy trying to land, and he hit our siege leader. Great. He's going to take he takes a -2 penalty for landing. So he did this landing penalty. it's not good to be fighting one-on-one with like 2 days. So we're cooling this. As predicted, we want to lost some men, but that's how it goes. And I'm sure we can loot this one instead. We can hang out here. That troop must have come over from Quetta. They're probably training some troops. They're probably not training it anymore. Yeah, you can see Morocco has jumped in and is besieging it. So the only unsieged province Portugal has is right here, and Castile's about to fix that. And just to make sure that they fix it, do that, Castile. Does Savoy have any transports? They do. They have quite a bit. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I was contemplating telling Savoy to attack Ulster to get them out of the war, but they'll just get killed by the English Navy. So no, we don't want to do that. Is that really Lithuanian fleet out here? I guess they came from here, and Lithuania is an ally of Sweden. So I mean, it sort of makes sense. But they're gonna, by the time they get there, the war is gonna be over. It basically is already. You can see that now. Oh no, I'm sorry. I lied. That is Denmark taking Sweden's land. Yeah, and there's Sweden besieging Denmark's capital. It's still not going to end well for Denmark. What you see here is a little bit of counter sieging, like I said, where the AI ignores the armies and ends up, sort of doing competing sieges. All right, let's keep it rolling. We're reinforcing our manpower. We knew that. Austria decided to go to war with one of the little guys in the Holy Roman Empire. That's not very nice of you, Austria. I guess I don't really have any room to talk. Okay, so we now have a siege leader. It's not as good a siege leader, but it's better than what they had. And that is... It's going to be a bit before it falls. Their last not fort province fell, so Portugal's completely besieged now. England's still there. Speed up even further. There's going to be some stuff we'll want to look at in peacetime, but at the moment we're relatively limited in what we can do. I could have been doing something with this diplomat the whole time, but that's how it goes. Speaking of doing something with diplomat, now that I think of it, how close are we to 190? I think we're really, really close. I think we just need one more tick, right? I'm sorry, we need more than one tick. We're not going to go from 164 to 190. I can send Navarre a gift for 25 relationship points for 5 years or something like that. So I only need one more point, and then the 25 will do. And since that's the case, and I'll have to wait a month between sending the gift and then getting the vassalization going, I am going to go ahead and do the gift right now. I hate taking 25 out of my treasury in the middle of a war when I'm not really making any money, but yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, do it. Oh, shoot, I forgot I'm not even going to be able to vassalize them until the war ends. Well, that's unfortunate. I may have just wasted 25 ducats, but yeah, okay. I imagine we're out of loot. Not quite. How are we doing down here? Oh, full loot. Go! And our diplomat's back. Yeah, okay. Genoa just had an election. And we're in the positive percent chance here. War score's ticking up. They've got a lot of troops. These are mostly over in... Where does Portugal have 6,000 troops? Maybe they've got some troops over here somewhere. I couldn't tell you. They clearly do not have 6,000 troops in Portugal. Oh, I know what it is. They've got islands. They've got well, I can't see them, but they've got the Azores and they've got Madeira. So they're probably building troops there, and well, they'll go ferry them in at some point. I always forget about Portugal's islands. I shouldn't, because that's what they use to get their colonization going, and I would love to have them, but no. Yeah, here they come again. His movement's locked, so hey, let's go meet him. Ah, disease outbreak. he came ashore into the teeth of mostly stack of 14 and died. That didn't take very long. Go Austria. Look at that. They vassalized Augsburg in like 4 or 5 months. I mean, I've got it on high speed, so you know it's not quite as impressive as it looks, but still, jeez. Slow down, Austria. I started my war long before you. Okay, so that England entered an alliance with somebody I don't care about. Leinster and Munster have finished their war, and Munster, I believe, is won. Yeah, Munster took over Leinster, so Leinster's gone now, at least for the moment. That may happen later. Oh, Scotland was helping. That's what happened. Scotland is an ally of Munster? Yeah, they totally are. Okay. That would explain why that war went better than I would have expected. Alright, well, yeah, Irish miners declaring each other rivals. How are we doing on war score? We're up to only 13.6. It does take a while to tick up. And we're still waiting for the length of war has ticked down quite a lot, actually, which is good. We probably are going to want to peace out once Lisbon falls, because that should give us the temporary England is making gains thing again. Yeah, sure, we'll give that a try. We lost a level 2 advisor I wasn't going to hire anyway. And here's the Ottomans winning their war. The Ottomans picked up 1, 2, 3 provinces and some money. Oh, these guys are back. Fine, I'll go kill them. Yeah, we looted out Algarve anyway. Alright, yeah, we're fighting this battle. Yeah, that's not at all surprising. Not much loot there. Okay, we need to go somewhere else. How about Beirut? Yep, a lot of loot there. What about here? No, I didn't want the army. Just about out of loot. So let's go over here. Oh, they've got a lot of loot. Okay. I mean, you see we're still losing money, but it's not too bad. Actually, no, that money we lost is actually money we paid to Navarre to make them like us. Our army of, yeah, that's this looting army and the other looting army. Great. Could we finish the siege, please? Novgorod in Denmark. Interesting. Alright, we just won the siege of Lisbon, so let's slow it down so that I can think about this for a minute. We have a war score of 58%. I don't think we're going to get much higher. Yeah, Portugal wants out of this war. Yes, please let me out. France is making gains, but it's not a big amount. Let's see what we can get now. So, we definitely want that. Actually, before we do this, let's look at the economic value of these. We've got a total 10, 21. Well, that's much better, and a 17 and a 15. So this is the best province of the lot. And then these two, and then lastly Laborde, which is a shame because I'm probably going to need to take Laborde. England, where are you? Yeah, let's just do it this way. You can right-click the war shield thing here, and it brings up the peace treaty screen, assuming you have a free diplomat. So I can select the items that I want in a list, or I can click on the provinces that I want and take them. There's a zillion different things we can do. Well, not technically a zillion. Zillion isn't even a technical term. There's a bunch of stuff that we can take. So I can take Beira, or actually Beira was occupied by Castile, so I can give Beira to Castile. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend war score on that. You know, so this is all provinces that I can take or give to my allies. I can basically tell England to get rid of its core on Armagnac. That's not a high priority for me at the moment. I'll cover release nations later. I can make them annul their treaties. I don't care about their treaties with any of those people, so go right ahead. Go right ahead. Excuse me. Alright, sorry about that. So, and then there's just a bunch of other random stuff we can have them do. The most notable one here is, well, there's two of them. Humiliate, which is really good for our power projection, and also war reparations, which requires them to pay us money for a while. That being said, I probably want to focus on getting our territory back first, so I'm probably not going to be messing around with these. Might get war preparations if there's nothing better I can do. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens if we take all 4. Well, they will say yes. I could take all 4 of our French provinces back. Could I take Calais instead? No, they won't give me Calais. Because I'm demanding Calais without occupying the fort in Calais. Okay, so Calais is definitely out. I guess, well, they're definitely not going to accept humiliate because you can see that, demand exceeds war score. I have a war score of 58, and I've said I want 86 worth of stuff. That can work out if you've got them really demoralized, but I'm not willing to wait around for that, so forget humiliate. How about war reps? Down by 4. Do I want to wait for war reparations? I'm kind of feeling short of cash. But on the other hand, length of war isn't tick down a month. It's just going to take 6 months probably to tick down, and this could tick up. Do I want to continue the war for probably 6 months in order to get war reparations on top of the 4 provinces? I don't think that's necessary. I think I'd rather go back to peacetime. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't know, war reparations from England. War reparations are 10% of their income, not 10% of their sort of net profit. So let's take a look at economy. Yes, that's what I want to see. So let's find how much England is making. England is making 781 from taxation, and basically their income is 1718. So I could get a 1.71 ducats a month from England. I don't think that's worth it. Yeah, if that was higher, Castile's actually making 2. Right now, I'm making 24, so I probably have the highest income. Let's actually sort by income. Yep, France, Ottomans, Mamluks, Castile, Aragon, England. I'm surprised Burgundy. Oh, it's because Burgundy split up. Burgundy used to be super wealthy because it has all the Low Country stuff, but not anymore. Right. Okay. So I mean is a nice income boost. I mean that would boost my income by to 26 basically. But yeah, I'd rather have the 6 months of peace. So sure, let's do it. We did that. We got those 4. Is there anything else? That's because I have war reparations on. I don't think there's anything I can get for less than 10%. I'll probably get some money. You have any money? That's not helpful. Let's find out. I can get 13 ducats. 51 is the maximum. So I can get 65 ducats in addition to all that. That's fine. We'll do that. Alright. We'll send our demand. Again, the diplomat actually has to travel there, but you saw the checkboxes. They're going to accept. So I might as well start sending my army home to Sherwood here. And you can go. Alright, so England has accepted our generous peace offer. We picked up all 4 of our territories here. And then we got... Oh, I forgot to look at the aggressive expansion. We only got 7.6 aggressive expansion from that. As I said, 30 is really the threshold where it's a big deal. And when you're at peace, it ticks down. So 7.6 for 4 provinces is insane, and it's because they were all already our cores. So Castile picked up some power projection. We picked up some power projection because we just took stuff from our rival. England just lost 67 power projection because they lost at war badly. Two rivals, I think. Both Castile and I are rivals. So fine, great. We now have this land. We no longer have this ugly orange color in the middle of us, and we are a nice blue. And this is telling us that our armies are exiled. They were in foreign territory when a war ended, so they're this little black flag. They basically can actually now go anywhere they want, but they can't see or interact with the world until I move them back to friendly territory, which is, I'd already started doing that before we even got that far. So that was our first war. That was actually quite productive. I wasn't expecting to get all 4 provinces in one fell swoop, but that's really good. It makes actually my mission selection bad because I could very well have done that kick England out of France mission, and it would have been done right now. Right. However, that does mean that we can now vassalize Navarra because they're at 200. So that's actually easy. So let's wait for our diplomat to come back. Come on, diplomat. There we are. I turn the speed down too slow. So we'll go to influence and offer vassalization. We know that they'll accept. And we did. They've accepted our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to become our vassals. Because clearly that's what they wanted. So now if you see, it's not what I wanted. I wanted diplomat map mode. You can see we now have a little teal thing of our own. It's not exactly a big, strong one. But, it's land that we have that nobody else does. Yes, Pamplona. So we can run the French bulls now instead of the Basque ones. It's still Basque land. Yeah, so we now have a lot more coastal territory. We can't actually integrate Navarra. You don't even have to integrate your vassals. We will probably integrate Navarra into our country as soon as possible to free up that diplomatic slot that's committed to a vassal that's one province size. But we can't do that for 10 years, so we'll wait on that. Obviously, since we have no choice. Let's take a quick look at our economy. It's hard to tell. We do have a fort maintenance of 7 because we picked up those additional forts. Do we really need all those forts? I think it's a good idea to keep them. So what we will do... Okay, we can now actually send these guys to protect trade in Bordeaux. Light ships are used for protecting trade. I didn't bother with at first because I knew they weren't going to manage to do anything. We were going to go right to war, so they were going to have to come back home anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my fleet maintenance so my ships can do their work, and I'm going to lower my army maintenance. Sure, that'll do. And that will keep us profitable. You'll notice that Navarre now has to pay us 0.49 ducats a month because they're our vassal, so that's very excellent. And I think we're ready for a nice extended bout of peace. So we picked up war exhaustion, you saw in one of the battles, and in general because we were being blockaded, that adds to it, and whenever you take casualties. So we're up to 1.6 war exhaustion, 1.06 war exhaustion. This will tick down by about a tenth a month. So we basically got 11 months of definitely we want to be at peace before anything else will happen. And I think that's about it, actually. Is there anything else that we want to take a look at? We did lose quite a bit of manpower in that war. It was down to 23,000 at some point, and it jumped back up to 30,000 as we basically stopped losing troops and were spending probably almost a year, maybe 2 years even. No, it was about a year, just sort of twiddling our thumbs while we finished off the sieges of Portugal. Yeah, so our manpower is pretty good. It can now, it was a max of 38,000 something. It's now 44,000 because we picked up these 4 additional provinces. Let's check our force limit. Yeah, our force limit went up by 7 for picking up those 4 provinces. So now we can build another 7 units. I'm not sure I'm going to do that yet because I don't have an imminent desire to go to war just yet. We don't have a target for one thing. And more importantly, we picked up an additional 6 force limit for ships. And just for the heck of it, let's take a look at what happened to England's force limit. They were at 34. They've dropped down to 28 now, so they lost 6 there. And here, yeah, they still have tons of force limit for ships, but they are actually over their force limit now. You can go over the force limit. You don't get you must construct additional pylons or something like that. But it just becomes more and more expensive to keep the fleet up, or the army up, depending on whether you're talking about land or sea. So we're not particularly close to any technology yet. We'll need to get to 600 in one of these categories, before we can do that. And until then, we're really kind of in a holding pattern for a year or 2 here while we wait for that aggressive expansion, for the war exhaustion to tick off, and figure out what our next target is going to be. I mean, it could very well be Provence, but Provence is allied with one of our allies, which is kind of annoying. Not sure what Savoy is. I might wait for Savoy to declare war on somebody, join their war, but not really do anything. A nation cannot be on both allied with you in one war and against you in another war. So the dilemma I'm facing is I'd like to declare war on Provence next because they're the next logical step. They've got, you know, all this stuff that I want. But one of my allies is also their ally, so I have two options. I can basically say, okay, forget it. You know, Savoy was only a temporary ally anyway. Let them go. And because they will get into the war by defending their ally and not me breaking the alliance directly, they won't even take a trust penalty with me, because it's not my fault they broke the alliance. They just happen to have conflicting interests, and they're required to choose the defender when they have competing interests. You know, so that's one option, and the other option is to basically get them into a situation where Savoy cannot be on the defending side by either starting a war or waiting till Savoy starts a war, participating in their war, and then I can declare war on Provence, and Provence cannot call Savoy because they're already on my side in another war. So it's tricks like this that help you manipulate the diplomatic situation, which can otherwise get quite messy. You know, your allies will not cooperate in nice little blocks. Typically, they'll ally somebody that's really inconvenient for you. Another option would be to potentially look at going after Burgundy. I don't really feel like we're ready to do that yet. I think Burgundy's still quite strong. They haven't fought any wars, so they're going to be quite strong. I will be stronger now that I've reacquired my 4 cores from England, but I'm not feeling that confident about it yet. So we'll just defer that for now. Yeah, so I think this video has been long enough. We'll ratchet up the speed and crank through some peacetime next time out. Have a nice day.